excuse me, it is okay to admit we made a mistake.
Right.
It's okay to say, you know what? Yeah, maybe if things look different. We all have the luxury of hindsight. It's a magnificent science.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of knowing today what we didn't know yesterday.
Kevin, hi. Was it a mistake not to start Shedeur earlier?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into those type of things, Tony. I'm obviously focused on what's in front of it.
I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. We've been trying to figure out what the Browns have been doing with their organization for a very long time, not just this year, but the past 30-something years, especially at the quarterback position. They haven't got it right in a very long time, and still to this day, they still haven't answered that question. And
no.
The one that looks like it might be promising, they still have an issue with that.
The outspoken voices of Unk and Acho resonate with undeniable truth. Kevin Stefanski, with perplexing obstinacy, continues to evade accountability for his monumental error in overlooking Shedeur Sanders as the rightful starting quarterback. As Shedeur unequivocally proves his elite caliber on the field, Stefanski persists in a bewildering state of denial. Yet, the resounding chorus of reality grows too deafening to ignore. Shannon Sharpe's visceral reaction perfectly encapsulates this frustration. True leadership demands the humility to acknowledge missteps, a quality Stefanski conspicuously lacks. He treats the critical decision of quarterback selection as a trivial matter, despite the glaring evidence that he catastrophically misjudged the moment. When Shedeur finally stepped onto the gridiron, he ignited the team with palpable energy, demonstrated innate leadership, and exhibited the poised demeanor characteristic of a true QB1. Crucially, his performance spoke volumes through the undeniable statistics he meticulously earned. Still, Stefanski behaves as if conceding the obvious constitutes an unforgivable transgression. The truth is stark. Shedeur's undeniable prowess should have secured his starting role long ago, a fact universally recognized by all save the architect of this oversight. Stefanski's recent press conference merely exacerbates the issue. Confronted directly about the error of not starting Shedeur sooner, he masterfully deflected, dodged, and sought refuge behind his tired mantra of focusing on the present. This isn't leadership. It's a transparent display of fear, betraying his full awareness of his blunder yet lacking the courage to articulate it. While Stefanski stubbornly shirks responsibility, Shedeur consistently showcases a maturity and talent that defy his years. Shedeur deserves a visionary coach capable of discerning his profound value, not one whose vision is clouded by the defensive shield of personal ego. The team's eventual resurgence wasn't a product of Stefanski's strategic foresight. It emerged despite his questionable calls. As Acho astutely observed, the Browns have endured quarterback woes for decades, and Stefanski tragically extends this lineage of coaches unable to make the pivotal right decision. Even now, with a promising young quarterback who radiates readiness and possesses the potential to fundamentally reshape the franchise's destiny, Stefanski maintains an inexplicable aversion. This alone speaks volumes. A coach who fails to recognize transcendent talent, who cannot rectify his own strategic blunders, and who is incapable of steering a franchise away from its entrenched patterns of failure, has forfeited his right to lead. The Browns desperately require a profound reset, one that unequivocally demands Stefanski's dismissal and the unequivocal establishment of Shedeur as the cornerstone quarterback of a team committed to no...
I agree. Can Stefanski not say "sure"? Is SH words, is that out of his vocabulary? Because why can't he just say the man? Why can't he say the man's name? Why did he say when we dealing with young players?
You know,
well, I think Shedeur's progressed very, very well.
You know why?
I like what I've seen. Even though when he wasn't playing, you can tell a guy that's being very attentive. The guy that's a very attention to detail. You see the way he takes copious notes when he's in meetings. You see the way he goes about his business at practice. Although he wasn't getting reps with the starters, and he didn't start getting reps till later in the season.
Yeah,
it's okay. Excuse me. It is okay to admit we made a mistake.
Right.
It's okay to say, you know what? Yeah, maybe if things look different. We all have the luxury of hindsight. It's a magnificent science.
Yeah.
We have the luxury of knowing today what we didn't know yesterday.
Yes, sir.
I get that, and I get your questions, and all your questions are very, very valid.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to answer her question, if I would answer the reporter's question in honesty, now I look bad. This organization looked bad.
Shannon's incisive analysis laid bare a stark truth. Stefanski's pride runs demonstrably deep. Rather than crediting the young quarterback's relentless work ethic, meticulous preparation, unwavering effort, and professionalism, Stefanski hid behind vague rhetoric about developing players. Concurrently, Shedeur unmistakably signaled his readiness well before ever stepping onto the field he so diligently studied. His preparation was thorough, his focus unwavering, even as Stefanski marginalized him, manufacturing needless controversies solely to undermine his progress. A truly discerning coach would have recognized such dedication. A supportive leader would have rewarded it. Yet Stefanski refrained, for validating Shedeur's readiness inherently meant conceding his own error. Stefanski prioritized self-preservation above all, neglecting to elevate the player who had demonstrably earned the starting role. Thus, we confront the critical inquiries Stefanski consistently evades. Why couldn't you just admit your profound error? Why couldn't you utter Shedeur's name with the respect he so clearly earned? Why did you deliberately hold him back when his readiness was undeniably clear? Why did your personal ego so profoundly eclipse the team's collective welfare? Why did you willfully ignore every single demonstration Shedeur made in practice? Why did you postpone his genuine opportunity until the season was irrevocably slipping away? Why perpetuate the illusion that honesty would diminish your stature, when your decisions already did precisely that? Why should any team trust a coach so fundamentally incapable of taking responsibility? And why should you retain your position?
There's no more confusion. You're not looking over your shoulder. You can go out there, you can lock in and do what you need to do. Preparation. Now, you say it all the time. I've said it all the time, and that goes for anybody, whether it's sports, whether it's life in general. When preparation meets opportunity, when opportunity meets preparation, this is what you get. You get games like this. So the more he gets to gel and build that continuity and chemistry with his offense and his receivers and his offensive linemen, the better he's going to look on the field. And just to think about it, if I think about what he would look like if he looked like this in his third game, what do you think it would look like if he'd been playing all season long?
With the starting role unequivocally secured, Shedeur is liberated from constant scrutiny, enabling him to genuinely breathe, focus, and perform authentically. Readiness was never the problem. Shedeur arrived fundamentally prepared and intensely focused from day one. But even meticulous preparation is futile if leadership denies the crucial opportunity to demonstrate it. The instant Shedeur finally seized his chance, he delivered precisely what everyone anticipated: astute decisions, commanding leadership, and undeniable game control. The issue was never Shedeur. Instead, the root problem lay in the delay, the doubt, and the ambiguity fostered by a coach unable to decide. Upon deeper reflection, the underlying narrative becomes strikingly apparent. If Shedeur excels this profoundly in merely his third outing, envision his potential if he'd played the entire season. He would have forged team chemistry sooner, accelerated defensive reads, and made the offense far more formidable. Each missed snap represented irretrievable progress, not from Shedeur's unreadiness, but from a lack of timely trust in his capabilities. Shedeur is undeniably showcasing his talent now, yet this compelling performance could have begun months prior.
Because after the first game, and they asked him, is he going to start the next game? He wanted to see if he could do it again. What is he going to look like again? If he looked bad, what's the first thing you think Stefanski was going to do? He's going to put Dillon Gabriel back in there. That's why he had to. All right, I don't want to answer that right now. I don't know. But Shedeur gave you no choice. Man, could you imagine after you played this game, after you played this last game and the game before that, if he was the bench, you took bench Shedeur, you talk about losing your locker room? At that point, I guarantee you one of the veterans would have spoke out.
Acho unveiled the stark reality many silently acknowledged. Stefanski's fundamental lack of trust in Shedeur was evident from the outset. After a standout initial performance, instead of unequivocally endorsing him, Stefanski hesitated, seemingly hoping Shedeur would falter. He appeared poised to revert to Dillon Gabriel the instant any setback occurred. This singular dynamic reveals everything. Stefanski wasn't objectively assessing talent, he was rigorously protecting his own prior judgments. However, Shedeur decisively disrupted this narrative. His consistently exceptional play became an undeniable force, effectively cornering Stefanski. Benching him would have exposed the coach as utterly bewildered. Shedeur's sustained brilliance backed Stefanski into an inescapable position, which was the sole reason he remained on the field. Not due to Stefanski's conviction, but because Shedeur left him absolutely no viable alternative. The locker room dynamic, moreover, held immense weight. Had Stefanski sidelined Shedeur after those games, the entire team's cohesion would have shattered. Veterans, influential leaders, and even reserved players would have spoken out, for everyone clearly perceived who offered their best chance to secure victory. Its obviousness was profound, apparent to the players, clear to the fans, and undeniable to any discerning observer. The only individual willfully blind was Stefanski, a perilous form of obstinacy. A coach willing to jeopardize team chemistry merely to safeguard his ego is fundamentally unfit to lead a locker room. Stefanski did not select Shedeur. He was compelled by stark reality, by irrefutable performance, and by players prepared to rebel against another misguided decision. That alone speaks volumes.
But I think it shows growth.
Yes.
I think it shows maturity. That when we're wrong and we're man or we're woman enough to say that I was wrong, that wish we could have done something differently.
Right.
Whatever the reasons were, I was wrong. And you have to be man or woman enough to say that I was wrong in order for you to sincerely, in order for you to have growth. Now, if he didn't want to answer, I think we know the answer, Chad. I think we know the answer. Why he didn't want to answer that. Was it a mistake not to start him?
Yeah.
Because I would like to think their record would be better than what it was. Now, it could be, Chad. I mean, now we're sitting here saying they could have won probably 2 more games, given that Shedeur. Maybe they don't win no more games. Maybe
Right.
they have the identical record. We'll never know.
Shannon Sharpe is absolutely right. We cannot fault Gabriel. He neither drafted himself, nor chose to start, nor presumptuously elevated himself above Shedeur. But honesty compels acknowledging Gabriel's profoundly poor play. He undeniably cost the team games, stalled drives, and made critical errors jeopardizing the offense. This isn't vitriol, it's unvarnished reality. When his performances are juxtaposed with Shedeur's immediate impact from his first snap, the gulf in talent is immense. Shedeur moved the ball decisively, protected it diligently, maintained remarkable composure, and genuinely embodied leadership. Gabriel, by contrast, appeared uncertain, rushed, and utterly overwhelmed. Support a teammate, yes, but speak uncomfortable truths. One played like a backup, the other commanded like the starter all along. This refocuses scrutiny on Stefanski, who stubbornly ignored this obvious difference for weeks. He waited far too long, deliberately sidelined the superior quarterback, and consequently made the team suffer. Shedeur's numbers, sharp decisions, and masterful control were miles ahead of Gabriel's from the moment he stepped in. Yet everyone perceived this except the head coach. Shannon's remark that they eventually got it right feels far too lenient. They didn't choose Shedeur. They simply ran out of every conceivable excuse to ignore him. Stefanski's protracted delay directly cost wins, disrupted offensive rhythm, and wasted vital developmental time. Yes, the mistake was corrected, but it was corrected inexcusably late. That delayed, costly decision sits squarely on the coach, not players. Ultimately, Shannon and Acho were prophetic, Stefanski's judgment was flawed, and Shedeur proved he should have been QB1 from the very start. The team finally discovered its spark, but only after squandering precious time on an incorrect choice. If this breakdown resonated, please subscribe and like for more strong NFL takes. Now tell me, do you believe the Browns would have a better record right